Please rate this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Amazon, and become a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net.
Hey, it's the show. It's Wrestling Uncensored. Tonight, we preview WWE's Crown Jewel. Will Gunther be John Cena's final opponent? And Santos Escobar re-signs with WWE. Yes! Yes, it's the signing the world was waiting for. Everybody was wondering, will Santos Escobar remain with WWE? And we got our answer this week, John. Yes, he will. The world has rejoiced. Santos Escobar remains a WWE superstar, even though he's never really on TV. That was a story this week. Hello.
Yeah, I can tell you're very excited by this. You can tell you being a big Santos fan and loving everything that him and his gang was doing. That's slowly dissipating, like lost the girl too. Lopez is gone.
Electric Lopez is gone?
Yeah, she got released.
When was this?
Oh, like it was May, I want to say. She got released.
Huh. Hadn't noticed.
I can tell, like, you're very excited about everything going on with El Phantasmo, I guess.
Santos Escobar. I mean, they're not really featured. Him and his buddies there, Angel Garza and Hector Garza.
I think they won the AAA tag titles, no, didn't they?
What's his name? Humberto Carrillo.
I think they're just called Berto now.
Right, Bert. Ernie and Bert. And you got Big Bird Santos. Santos Escobar, there was news that his contract was up and that he was leaving imminently and was unhappy in WWE. And then the news came out that he is staying with WWE. He signed a new contract. Apparently WWE gave him mucho dinero to stay con la WWE. Which, yeah. Are you excited about it? Is that something that... yeah, I'll tell you, the thing that I got from the whole Santos Escobar situation is that he's 41. I didn't realize he was 41 years old. I thought he was like a younger guy with some kind of promise, like maybe in a few years he'll turn into something. But at 41, he kind of is what he is. And what he is a guy who isn't particularly physically imposing, doesn't really cut a promo that is good or is really understandable in English a lot of the times. And, I mean, he's got a thick accent. His English is not the best. And his in-ring is, okay, but I could think of 30 guys that are better. So, I don't know. He exists. He's a good hand, I suppose. They like him. Do you care? I mean, if they didn't re-sign him and he went to AEW, say, would you be excited? Would that do anything for you? It's like he's a less exciting version of Andrade, basically. They have a similar look, similar character style. Sometimes they wear masks and then they take them off. It's like, all right, the presentation is very similar. He's like Andrade Jr. And you have a hard time getting people to care about Andrade. WWE has never got anyone to care about Santos Escobar. They've tried. I've wanted to care. Just haven't. No one has. But I guess they need him for AAA. So that's the thing with that.
I always felt he fit that role that Del Rio left, and Andrade too. I think they always wanted that kind of heel who was like the leader of a faction and was pretty much against the big baby face like Mysterio, like Rey Mysterio. So they always needed someone like that, and they have that on SmackDown with Escobar. And since they got rid of Andrade, I think they kind of need Santos now.
They just need a guy from Mexico to feud with other guys from Mexico, Mexican baby faces. It's very WWE.
You've seen him with Lucha Libre. You need your bases, and Santos, I think, is a good base.
Mm-hmm. Well, good for him. Apparently, he got paid. I mean, good for him, right? It's just like, what?
Well, we've seen this already this year with R-Truth. R-Truth looked like he had left. Then up, they're going to pay more money. Came back. They haven't really done much with him, but he's richer, so good for him.
They keep re-signing these guys in their 40s and 50s. Who is out there? Who is the young talent in wrestling?
They dumped them already this week. They got rid of all those young up-and-comers. Like, well, go fend for yourself. Yeah, all the bunch of Evolve people got released.
Okay.
Go fend for yourselves.
Well, they'll probably become better wrestlers that way. Out of the system.
Well, they're kind of trapped with that too, right? Because like they could have gotten deals somewhere else, but first WWE can offer them a deal, so then obviously people are going to offer them deals if WWE has like first dibs on them. So now they're kind of do what they want, so it's better for them actually.
Yeah.
Well, they got the experience, so it's good for them. They got the experience, and now they can see what the indies are really like.
Mm-hmm. They fired a bunch of people from Evolve this week?
Well, it just didn't really renew their contracts.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of those contracts are only for a year or so that's it. They try them out. They don't bring them up to NXT. Well, yeah, they're just not going to re-sign them. Makes sense.
What are the layers of NXT? There's like NXT, then there's there's like another NXT under that, isn't there?
They got rid of that. You're talking about Level Up. They got rid of Level Up.
Level Up is gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
So is that Evolve?
I guess you could say that. Yeah, sure. I guess. Makes sense.
Like, but they run their own shows?
They do. They have their own kind of little thing.
But at this point, they're like minor league NXT.
Yeah, I would say that. And they do have some interactions with some NXT people and some former WWE stars that I guess are still friends, but not completely contracted to WWE.
Yeah. Then they also have that like reality show with Undertaker and Michelle McCool. What's that?
Like the new Tough Enough.
Yeah.
The LFG, I think it's called, or something like that.
Yeah. They're signing people off that too.
I think they just finished their second season, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't really keeping up to date with that, but I think their second season just finished.
They're putting out so much content, I have no idea what's going on in a lot of things that they're doing.
I mean, just keeping up to date with Raw and SmackDown is enough. And then, yeah, like, we're not even really keeping up to date with NXT so much. Now we're getting into the layers of NXT. So, and we haven't even talked about TNA, because that's another kind of layer of NXT, right?
Yeah. TNA is a layer of NXT at this point. The layers of NXT. The Hardys won the NXT tag titles, right? They're TNA tag champs and NXT tag champs right now. Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys.
It's 2025 and it's happened. Pretty impressive. You know, they got that big match against Dudleys, too.
Are all the belts on the line against the Dudley Boys? When is that?
That's at TNA's big pay-per-view, Bound for Glory, which I imagine is this month, right? It's October.
Nice. I'll try to see, when is that? TNA Bound for Glory. October 12th. That's Sunday?
This Sunday. Wow.
What do they have? They have the Hardys versus the Dudleys. One final table for the TNA and NXT tag titles. Pretty cool. Trick Williams defending the TNA title against Mike Santana of Santana and Ortiz. Kelani Jordan defending the TNA Knockouts title against Indy Hartwell. Some other matches. Frankie Kazarian? The TNA International Champion Frankie Kazarian wrestling Steve Macklin. Interesting. And some other matches on this thing. Leon Slater versus Javon Evans. A Collier Shot Gauntlet. Tessa Blanchard versus Gia Miller. The System. Moose, Alicia Edwards, Brian Myers, Eddie Edwards, and JDC versus Order 4. Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steeles, Special Agent Zero, Jason Hotch, and John Schuyler in a 10-person intergender hardcore war. I've seen a 10-person intergender hardcore something else, but never a war. How about that?
I think that might be the first and last time you hear a lot of those names, I think. I don't know if you'll be looking this up afterwards.
Special Agent Zero, John.
I've heard of someone called Zero before in wrestling.
Have you heard of Special Agent Zero?
That's a different one. But
have you heard of Jason Hotch? How about what a dynamic wrestler name that is. What's your wrestling name? Jason Hotch. I mean, I guess it's similar to Frank Gotch, which was a decent wrestler name and a legendary, pioneer of the business. Look it up, kids. But Jason Hotch is a man I've never heard of. That's a TNA's Bound for Glory this Sunday in Lowell, Massachusetts. The Hardys versus the Dudleys is what you'd be tuning in for, though. And I may.
Well, that definitely should be the main event. It'll probably be the world title match, but the tables match should be the main event.
I agree. We have Crown Jewel coming up tomorrow morning, John. Let's get right into it. I mean, we got to preview it before it happens, It's a few hours away right now as we speak.
Yeah.
It's like just about 10 p.m. Eastern time. This thing on a Friday night. This thing is Saturday morning at 8 a.m. So it's in less than 12 hours. So let's get a cracking. It is Crown Jewel in Australia. I watched SmackDown. I watched the Raw. I watched the shows this week. They happened. CM Punk not on this card. I'll tell you who is on this card. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the undisputed WWE Champion. He will take on Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion. While WWE is where Cody Rhodes reigns supreme as the undisputed champion of WWE, Seth Rollins has the rest of the world as the world champion. And they will battle for the Crown Jewel Championship, which I think Cody mentioned as a ring at one point. Didn't he say it was a ring?
When you win the Crown Jewel Championship, you get the ring, because you don't get to keep the belt, right? But you get a ring.
You get a ring. Because I saw a belt. They had a whole video package, which I thought was very dumb and must have cost them an amount of money that was totally wasted on showing them bring guys in suits coming out of an SUV, taking the Crown Jewel Championship out of the thing in Saudi Arabia and bringing it to Australia. They showed this on SmackDown tonight. It was stupid as hell. Or this morning. SmackDown actually aired at 8 a.m. because it was in Perth. But that video package was dumb.
Well, they're just trying to hype the championship because not everyone remembers how extravagant it looks. I mean, I have to say, like, for a championship title, that looks amazing. It's too bad that you can't keep that championship because that'd be a awesome championship to just walk around with. But he gets a ring because Cody has one ring and he's looking for another ring. So that's what the winner will get. They'll get to look at the title, won't get to keep it, but they'll always get to have a ring.
They'll always get to have the ring. Cody versus Seth is on this thing. We also have Stephanie Vaquer and Tiffany Stratton. They are both champions, and they will wrestle for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. John Cena will wrestle AJ Styles one last time. Rhea Ripley and Eosky will take on Asuka and Kairi Sane in a tag team match. And Roman Reigns takes on Bronson Reed in an Australian street fight. Because they're in Australia. And Bronson Reed is from Australia. I wonder if they'll be cheering for Bronson Reed or Roman Reigns.
I expect maybe a little mixed. But Roman is quite over, so I definitely expect a lot of OTC chants and a lot of ones being pointed up in the sky. But I think Reed will get a decent reaction.
I'd like to say that I've enjoyed the Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso family drama on Raw, seeing all that play out. Jimmy saying to Jey when Roman wasn't there a couple weeks ago, like, you're acting like you're the tribal chief. You're acting like Roman. It's not good. Roman on Raw this week saying, I see everything. I hear everything. Maybe he needs to be more like me. When he was champion, he was more like me and less like you. And it was like, oof, Roman's being mean here. But he's still a babyface. He's still the tribal chief. Everybody still loves him. But he's being pretty mean to Jimmy Uso. And Jey Uso seems to be kind of turning heel. And Roman seems to be into it. And Jimmy seems to be like, hey, what the hell's happening here? But the fans are still fully behind Roman. It's a very interesting dynamic that's playing out on Raw with the Usos and Roman Reigns right now. It's very old school bloodline stuff, from 2-3 years ago. And it's got a different flavor now, and I like it. There are different dynamics between the three guys. Jay's won a championship. Jimmy, they're all on Raw. It's Heyman's not there. Like, it's a different deal, and I like it. I liked all that stuff with Roman and the Usos this week. What did you think of that?
Well, I think Roman needs to still have an edge to him, and I think it's good that he has that little bit of not on the same page with Jimmy kind of thing. And he's kind of pushing Jay. That's the way I kind of look at it. It's not so much he wants Jay to be like him. He wants Jay to be his absolute best. And to do that, he's got to act more like Roman. So he's just kind of guide him in that direction. And Jimmy obviously has some issues with that because obviously in the past there were issues. So I think it's just good drama. And unlike a lot of storylines we see on Raw, it's actually intriguing to watch. Thank goodness we have the bloodline back on television.
It really is compelling, right? It's the most compelling thing they're doing.
Well, I think it helps too that everything else is really bad. Or we've seen a lot of bad. That whole, let's be honest here, the whole Asuka, Ripley, Eosky thing. We didn't, I don't know if you saw it last week. That was embarrassing. And this week wasn't exactly great either, but it's still the worst thing that they're doing. I imagine the match will be pretty good, but to get there, it was a horrible journey.
Yeah. We've seen some bad stuff. We continue to see bad stuff. We are watching Bayley and Lyra Valkyria do their whole thing, with Bayley sometimes hating Lyra and sometimes being her best friend. Like, what is that? What, Bayley's like losing her mind or whatever. Like, that's been truly awful and really disappointing, because I want to enjoy Bayley and I have not been.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the first hour and a half was just pretty much women's wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it ended with the whole Punk LA Knight against the Usos.
Yeah.
And I think they had a sixth man as well.
Yeah.
But we just had women's match, women's match, women's match. And you saw like the good and the bad, I think, really. Like, again, Io, very good wrestler. And I think with Kari, like, it was very good match back and forth. The finish was awful. Like, it was obviously that Asuka was like holding the hands right in front of the referee, and they still counted the 3. That was bad. The whole like I get it. People like Maxine Dupree, but I was not a fan of that match against Becky whatsoever.
Come on.
Like, that was,
I don't want that.
That was
the finish to that was really dumb too. Becky's so stupid, she doesn't know she's getting counted out.
Well, and they played off that the ref counted too fast. I mean, yes, the ref counted too fast, but like, it's stupid that they did that just because Becky got in her face, so that's why the referee would counter out quickly. It's not very good, and there were a lot of moments of that match too where it's like, this is not very good to watch. A lot of the strikes are very missable.
Yeah,
like, clearly missable.
Just come on, man. They gave us, it was like a 20-minute Becky Lynch Maxine Dupree match on Raw.
They did, yeah.
Like, what the hell was that?
Well, they're really trying to give Maxine like a lot of time, because she's over. I mean, you give her that, but she still needs a lot of work, and I think they're really just trying to shove it down our throats a little bit.
She's over?
Yeah, she's over. Like, believe it or not, like that whole stuff with Otis and all that, like, they didn't push Otis right, but they're actually pushing Maxine at least off of it.
Yikes. All right, Crown Jewel. Let's get into it. Cody versus Seth. Seth is like doubting himself. What if I don't win, Paul Heyman? What if I don't win? I mean, it's all right. I liked Heyman though, saying like, well, then maybe I'll start to wonder why I picked you instead of Roman Reigns. You were seeing a lot of like dissension in the ranks there between Heyman and Seth, and I think it's all gonna come full circle, or it's gonna come to an end, and it's all gonna be a big ruse where Heyman is going to help Seth ultimately win this match.
Yeah, I think it's very obvious it's probably going to happen. So, yeah. It was just to kind of create a little bit of doubt, because I think it was too obvious that Seth was winning. So they came up with that little segment they had on Raw.
Yeah. And there was a thing last week on SmackDown where Heyman was telling Seth not to go to the ring, but he went to the ring, and then he ate a Crossroads or RKO or something, right? Randy and Cody were there, beat him up.
Something like that happened.
He ate something.
I don't remember exactly everything.
Heyman was like, don't go. And Seth was like, I'm going. And so we're seeing like kind of friction between Heyman and Seth, which I think is to make us believe that they're going to break up. But really, it's all to kind of confuse us and swerve us a little bit. But it's kind of an obvious swerve where Heyman is going to help Seth in some way to beat Cody. This is going to be like, if Seth doesn't beat Cody here, they need to just stop pushing Seth forever. Because like Cody beat him 3 times. 3 big matches, Cody beat him. Seth has not beat Cody since Cody came back as American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. So like, he has to win. Cody doesn't need to win. Cody can lose and still beat Cody. It doesn't matter. Seth has to beat Cody one time. Otherwise, what's going on?
I think that's the big thing, too. It's like Seth built this up that he has to win this match. Cody doesn't really need to win this match. There's going to be a bunch of interference. It makes sense that Seth is going to win.
Yeah. Seth has a bunch of backup. Cody doesn't have any backup. Right?
Well, Punk's there, right? Is he there? I'm not actually sure if he's there or not, but if he's there,
he must be. He'll be on Raw, right? Probably.
You would expect he should be. I mean, they're pretty much going to lead into Saturday night's main event, and he's expected to face Seth for the title, so.
Oh.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's when that's happening.
It's the rumor, it seems, that it's going to be November 1st, if I'm not mistaken, Saturday night's main event. Punk and Seth.
So Punk will get another shot, get screwed out of the match, and not win.
Which will lead to War Games, right?
Yeah. This whole Seth title run is just waiting for the match against Roman Reigns.
Well, they announced that the Elimination Chamber is going to be in Chicago, so I think that's going to be Punk's revenge, is when he finally gets that. And probably that's where he'll pretty much cash in his chance at becoming champion by winning a chamber match, I think.
Maybe. Or he wins the title in a chamber.
Well, that'd be better, I think, to be honest. Because how many times do we need to see Punk versus Seth before we get to WrestleMania? Because we've already seen it a bunch of times already.
Yeah. I don't need to see Punk and Seth one-on-one at WrestleMania.
When you see it on almost all the other shows, yeah, not so much.
Do you do Punk Roman? What do you do?
Oh, you can do a bunch of things.
Punk Gunther?
Could happen.
I guess. I want to see Gunther wrestle Brock. We're going to talk about Gunther a little later, him and John Cena. Let's keep running down this card. So Cody losing to Seth, some sort of screwy finish where Seth wins with help from his boys, the Bronze, Paul Heyman. All of the above. Stephanie Vaquer, the Raw Women's World Champion, takes on Tiffany Time, the SmackDown WWE Women's Champion. It's the Women's Crown Jewel. This one I'm a little more torn on. I'm not sure. I think Stephanie Vaquer, because they seem to be pushing her harder right now. She's newer. They want to establish her more. I think they're going to give her the win.
Well, I don't believe she's actually defended the championship yet, right? So, yeah, I think they're going to need to establish her. And they can't really do that if they have her lose in her first big match. Granted, it's not a title match, but still, it represents her as a champion. So I think she kind of has to win this match more than Seth or Cody.
I think Seth has to win more than anybody.
It's more for just, his own ego. But I feel like to establish Stephanie as a champion, she needs it.
But Heyman even said on Raw, he's like, if you lose to Cody, then it kind of cements this belt and you as like the secondary champion.
I mean, we always seen him as that. And honestly, even if he beats Cody, I think he's still the secondary champion. So
I agree, but at least he could have the win over Cody.
Sure.
Man, when they had Seth lose twice in a row to Cody, and then like it was Mania, and then it was another one, right? And then they did Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
And Cody won the first two, and then they do Hell in a Cell, and Cody's pec is torn, and his chest looks a mess, and he's so injured. and you know he's taken a lot of time off after the match, you go, I went going in, well, he's got to lose because he's got a visible injury. And if Seth can't beat him now when he needs surgery and he looks terrible, well, Seth can never beat him. And then Cody still won. I still don't understand the booking decision there.
I kind of get it because they built Cody up to be the guy to beat Roman. He didn't do it that year, but eventually he did it.
I know, but when a guy is that hurt and you know he's gone for a while,
they had a lot of faith in Cody. I think they had a lot of faith.
It shows how much faith they have in Seth.
I think they feel with him, it's like, they can beat him a bunch of times. He can always come back. I mean, he kind of did, right? He still became their first world heavyweight champion in this run.
Yeah, but he's still looked at as like third to Roman, Cody. You know? He's not as powerful on the power rankings in WWE as those guys. And everybody knows it. No one mistakes him for being close. You could make an argument for Roman or Cody being the top guy. You couldn't make that argument for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but even if he would have beat Cody in that Hell in a Cell, because Cody always has that excuse, so, well, he was hurt, so wouldn't have been a great win for Seth anyways.
Have you ever seen a so-called top guy main eventer in WWE with less aura than Seth Rollins? He's got he's got big costumes and everything, but he comes out, it's like, Like when Cena comes out, when Seth comes, when Roman comes out, it was like, whoa, there's a superstar there. When Seth comes out, it's just a guy.
I mean, they tried it with The Miz for 1 year.
Didn't work.
It was kind of similar. It didn't work, but
yeah. It's just a guy. Just another guy. Anyways, he'll win. He'll beat Cody. Stephanie Vaquer will beat Tiffany's. John Cena will beat AJ Styles in a match that is fun and nice, I guess. But like, if you want to see a good John Cena AJ Styles match, they're out there. I think they're going to try hard, but I don't see them being able to top what they've done in the past. I don't know. I'm not super excited for it because I just, there's nothing on the line. It's just like, hey, let's have a fun match for the fans and let's have a good match. And it'll be good, but neither of them are physically where they were when they did it in their prime. So it's like, all right, it's cool, I guess. It's just kind of showing respect to AJ Styles, who says 2026 will be his last year in the business. I don't know if you saw that, but AJ said he's retiring next year. So I think it's a nice show of respect for him that Cena wants to have one more match against him. He views him as one of his greatest opponents, which I think is cool. And he was. But that was a long time ago. And now it's like, all right. Like when Cena was wrestling Cody, like Cody could kind of carry him through a match. I think AJ can carry him through a match still, but it won't be the match that he carried him through back in, 2015 or whatever it was. It's like, it's cool. I'm happy that it's I'm not mad at it, but I'm also not excited about it.
There's just nothing really on the line with this. I think that's the problem with this. Like, whether Cena wins, whether AJ wins, it doesn't really change anything. So there's no stakes involved. It's just, let's go have a good match. I mean, that's a very difficult sell. And like, we've seen it with Cena's matches where these nostalgia matches, they're not as good as they used to be. None of them really. So it's tough. Like, why would you want to see something that wasn't as good as it used to be? Just for the sake of, oh, let's just see it one more time, and then, oh yeah, that's how it is now, and that's how you're left with that kind of feeling where it's like, maybe it's better if we didn't redo this. This is why I think it's better to have Cena in new kind of matches where it's like he's never wrestled these guys before. What's it going to be like? You have nothing to judge it off of, so that's it. That will be your base no matter what. It should be that. Like, but it's good for AJ that he gets this because like they aren't giving AJ much at all. So good to give AJ something because it's kind of sad. Like this is going to be pretty much he's near his end. Like WrestleMania will probably be his end more than likely. So they give him something because it's kind of sad the way they aren't really using AJ that much.
Yeah, but he's about to retire. He's nearly 50.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, but still, like when it's a bigger star, like it's like the Undertaker, like Triple H, like they all still got big time matches, and they weren't kind of treated like low mid card. They were always near the top of the card. Like AJ should have been treated like that a bit better, I think.
I don't disagree, but we'll see what they do with him on his last run here. Now that he's announced that he is wrapping up in 2026, maybe we'll see some big, cool matches for AJ.
I'd like to believe that. I'm not seeing where it could happen. I think he's just putting over guys. He put over Dominic. I can see he'll probably put over like Kaiser probably. I'm not gonna say whatever Americano, like it's obviously Kaiser, but he'll probably do stuff like that. Just
there are many Americanos. Gotta specify.
That's true.
They're like the Dudleys. They keep multiplying.
Pete Dunne's one, right? As well?
I don't know who all the Americanos are. There's millions of Americanos. I think one of them is Del Wilkes.
Well, R.I.P. if I'm not mistaken with him, but
that's what you think. He's an Americano. Okay. Buzz Sawyer's one of the Americanos. It's crazy who they got. I think a few of the Moondogs have switched, and now they're Americanos. I'm going old school tonight, John. I'm trying to see who's with me, who's an old school wrestling fan, and who knows what the hell I'm talking about. I've mentioned Frank Gotch, Buzz Sawyer, the Moondogs. I mean, I'm really throwing out some old timey references here, John. Throughout the eras, I love it. You're not getting this on any old wrestling show, okay? Some of these young guys, they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And that's why they don't know shit about the business, brother. I'm not wrong. Am I wrong, dude?
It's changed over the years. It's not the same business like when they were wrestling.
I know. I'm just saying.
About that.
You got to know the history. You got to know who everybody is. And if you don't know diddly squat. Shout out Angelo Contagonis. He knows what's up. CSL Lorne. Ryan Katz. Lior. Shout out. Shout out to all the boys in the chat over at join.ringsidereport.net, supporting on the YouTube channel. You could watch us on Kick, on Twitch, on YouTube, on Rumble, on all the things, on Twitter. Shout out to everybody watching us on Twitter. Big shout out to you. Shout out to the Detroit Tigers, trying to advance to the American League Championship Series to go on and hopefully beat the Blue Jays. Although the Mariners just tied it. It's 2-2 in the 7th. Hachi Machi.
I'm surprised you're not cheering for the Mariners. I think they have a good shot.
No, I cheer for the Tigers. I want the Tigers to win. My buddy, the big youngster, lives out in Detroit, and he's a big Tigers fan. We grew up together, and he loves the Tigers. Big Oski, Osktober. trying to keep that October going. And, of course, our boy Doug Hepburn, big Tigers fan. So I'm with them. I can't root for the Blue Jays. Can't ever, nor will I ever. Can never, ever, ever. Ever, ever? Ever, ever. MMA show last night got canceled because AJ is, like, abandoning us because he's, like, a big-time politician now. And he's, like, campaigning or something, debating people. I don't know. AJ kind of dropped out last minute, and then Fred could have done it, but I had my children to deal with. I had a lot going on last night. Just couldn't happen last night, Angelo. I'm sorry. We will be back next Thursday with AJ. Okay? Okay? I'm sorry, Angelo. I'm sorry. I felt bad. We'll talk about the Yankees later, okay? I'll tell you what's going on with the Yankees. I'll tell you how I feel. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. A great man once said, "I'm not surprised, motherfuckers." And that's how I feel. You know who that great man was, John?
Well, I just want to mention, going back to AJ. Like,
the great Nathan Diaz.
That's the last time we heard that sound.
Shut up.
This season.
You fucker. Go ahead. AJ? Yes? You're seeing AJ's campaign posters around your neighborhood.
Yeah, I sent you them, a couple of them.
Yeah, I posted one on Instagram and I said, vote for AJ, which is crazy to me. It's still unbelievable that this guy, you're going to vote for him, right? You can actually vote for him. I can't. He's not in my neighborhood, but you could vote for AJ, and I trust that you will, right?
Yeah. He'll be on that. His name will be on the paper, so yeah.
And he's got your vote, right? I mean,
100%,
how could he not?
100%.
100%. AJ for NDG, bro.
I just wish I'd see more of them. Like, I had to go by. I think it's around Beaconsfield. There's one, and I think around like Girard and de Maisonneuve, there's another one. You kind of have to look for them, but they're around. Yeah,
the one you sent me was on the corner of Beaconsfield and Sherbrooke. I recognized that building. That building used to be Video Daisy, which was my childhood video store, because I used to live down the street. There used to be a Dunkin' Donuts right across the street from where you sent me that picture, right?
I remember when I moved into NEG, the Dunkin' Donuts was kind of getting torn down a bit, but yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it used to be Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I used to live right down the block when I was a very small child. I lived on Beaconsfield just below Sherbrooke, right there. So when you sent me that picture, I was like, I know this place. I know this place well. Oh, yeah, NDG. See, I know NDG, and I know that AJ is what's best for business in NDG. Let's get business running again in NDG. I like the mayoral candidate, too. I saw some of his ideas. I like him. I'm going to vote for him, too. Mr. Kaku. I'm going to vote for him. Future Montreal. I think that's the future for Montreal. I'm going with Kaku. I'm going with AJ. I'm going with the DeLessio brothers. AJ's brother running as well in Snowden. So, you know, if you can vote for anybody named DeLessio, vote for them. Julio or AJ DeLessio. The best. Top guys. Top guys. So we got Cena beating AJ Styles. Speaking of top guys.
Yeah, Cena's going to win, I think. I feel Cena is probably the biggest lock. I haven't looked at the odds, but I imagine Cena has to be the lock of the night or the morning.
Do we have odds? WWE Crown Jewel odds. That's interesting. Betting odds. Wow. I have some. Let's see. John Cena minus 2,500, biggest favorite on the card. Cody Rhodes plus 500. Seth Rollins minus 900. Very heavy favorite to win, Seth. Stephanie Vaquer minus 250 to win over Tiffany. We have that one. Cena minus 2,500 over AJ Styles. How about Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed? I think you got to go with the tribal chief there. He is the odds-on favorite to win. Minus 250 only, but come on. It's the tribal chief.
Well, I understand why he's not the biggest odds-on favorite, because one, is a street fight, and two, it's in Bronson's hometown. So, yeah, I could see them maybe deciding it's not going to be him to win, or not Roman to win. I could see that, but I think Roman will win though.
I was so disappointed when they announced this match. So disappointed that they're still going on this Bronson Reed Roman Reigns thing when we can all see that it's leading towards Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. It's just like getting through the henchman, and he already got through this henchman. He beat him on that show months. Which one was it?
Which show was it again? That was a good question.
I don't know. They do so many of these stupid shows.
They have done so many shows. It was the new one they brought in, the ESPN one.
WrestlePalooza?
One. WrestlePalooza, I believe it was. Was it not?
It?
No, wait.
No.
Wait. It wasn't WrestlePalooza.
No.
It was before. It was the Clash. It was the Clash in Paris. There we go.
Was it?
Yeah, it was Clash in Paris.
Clash in Paris in August 31st. Roman Reigns beat Bronson Reed in the opening match. And then Bronson and Braun Breaker beat up Roman Reigns and injured him, even though he was, doing a movie. And now he's back, and he's wrestling Bronson Reed again because he's got to get revenge. But he already beat him. But now it's a street fight. It's just like, what? Why? Like, you know where it's headed. Can't we just skip to the end already? Why are we wasting our time here with this match and this feud and the tribal thief and all this stuff? Roman over Bronson. I think the match will be fun.
Yeah, we know, Angelo. Pay-per-view is going to be not too long from now.
Yeah, it's soon.
Or PLE.
You got Roman over Bronson? I think it'll be good. Street fights are fun. They'll do weapons. I like weapons. Who doesn't like a good weapon?
It'll be fine, but just don't make it so long. That was the problem with the last match. Like, I felt like it was over. I'm pretty sure it's over 20 minutes, and it's the opening match. It's like, it doesn't need to be a marathon kind of match. Opening match, make it simple. Like, get the hits in, get all the stuff in, but you don't need to drag everything.
Yeah. But it's a 5-match show that'll probably last about 4 hours.
Does that have to happen? It doesn't. Ridiculous.
This is a glorified spot show. You know it and I know it. A spot show is a show that is designed to appeal to one crowd, one night, for one event, with nothing built in really and nothing afterwards meaning anything. And that's what this show is. The Crown Jewel matches are self-contained matches. They built them for a few weeks, but when Cody and Seth move on, Cody will be on SmackDown, Seth will be on Raw, and they won't talk about each other. They won't have anything to do with one another. And same for Stephanie and Tiffany Stratton. Same for John Cena and AJ Styles. Roman and Bronson Reed, like, they'll still be doing stuff, but for 3 out of the 5 matches on this card, we will have the participants having no interactions in the weeks going forward. None. So that's a spot show. I don't care if they call it a PLE. I don't care if they sell tickets for $20,000 ringside. This is a glorified spot show by the WWE. You know it, and I know it.
Well, their major market is North America, and when most North America is only going to be watching this at 8 o'clock in the morning, yeah, they're not taking this completely seriously because they know most people aren't going to be watching this live.
Great. No one's taking this seriously. They're like, no one cares about Crown Jewel. No one's even going to wake up to watch this stupid show. Let's just give some Australians a good time. Maybe Bronson will win. He's Australian, mate. Crikey. Do a
Isn't
shoey. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. Australia, mateys.
so Rhea Ripley is too, right? I think they're going to
Yeah.
give Rhea Ripley the big moment. I think.
Yeah, Rhea and Io take on the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane. I think this match will be good. The build to this has been awful. Just horrible stuff. Horrible promos. Each and every week. The emotions of Kairi Sane. Ah! A lot of that going on. I don't know what to do! What the fuck? Asuka. Just belligerent. Io, sad Io. Rhea, like, emotional. Horrible stuff. Just downright awful. Really, really lowering the value of Rhea Ripley, their top star. And it's a tag team match. And they're not wrestling for the tag team titles at all. No one wrestles for the tag team titles. Because the tag team champions are Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. And Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss do not defend their tag team titles. They do promos on SmackDown almost every week with Sol Ruka and the other one from NXT. And they don't wrestle them. They just talk about wrestling them potentially in the future. For some reason. Even though they have no reason to challenge for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. You would think the winner of this Io, Rhea, Kabuki Warriors match would have a right to challenge legitimately for those tag team titles. But those tag team titles, like I mentioned, do not get defended. Because Charlotte and Bliss don't wrestle. And they don't cut promos against anybody except Sol Ruka and the red-haired one, whose name I do not know. I may learn one day. Maybe not. But how many promos are they going to cut with these girls before they give them a title match? It's like every week it's like, give us a shot. And we're like, yeah, maybe. Meanwhile, they're the champions and they never defend their belts or even wrestle, really. When was the last time either of them was in a ring wrestling?
Weren't they doing something with the Secret Service when that was going down?
Maybe. I don't know. But they're not defending their belts. And I thought the women's tag team champions were supposed to be on both brands, but they seem to be exclusively on SmackDown / NXT, I guess? I don't know what they are. Why aren't they on Raw?
Well, Raw's kind of jam-packed. I think they have a pretty solid division right there. Like, you saw, like, Raw had 3 women's matches, like, all in a row, so they don't need the women's tag champions on that show.
Well, could we, we got some people to pair up here. You got Bayley and Lyra you can pair up. You got Asuka and Kairi. You've got Io and Rhea. They're paired up. They should wrestle for the tag team championships. It's like SmackDown has no women's tag teams. Raw has a bunch, but the tag team champions are only on SmackDown, where there's no division. They're not doing anything with Charlotte Flair right now. She's tag team champions, and it's just what did they do on SmackDown? They did a backstage promo, which is what they do every week with Sol Ruka, who is good. I know her name. I've learned her name because she's excellent.
Well, she has 2 championships as well, so.
Yeah. Speed and something else. Gonzalez? I don't know. Rhea and Io versus the Kabuki Warriors. I think Rhea and Io obviously win. It's in Australia. Rhea's Australian. Everybody loves Rhea. This is a show for the fans in Australia to make them happy. That's why it's on at 8 a.m. because it's 8 p.m. Eastern time on a Saturday night in Australia. 8 a.m. for us is 8 p.m. in Australia. This is a show for them. Rhea will win.
I mean, every match just seems very predictable, and it's just the way it is when these kind of shows happen. Every match pretty much going to go down like this. Maybe they'll do a shocker, possibly, but chances are probably not.
No title changes. No titles are on the line.
Well, the rings, right? That's about it.
Those don't mean anything.
Well, Cody wanted to have rings on all his fingers, so he to pull that off. He's got to win this one, right?
John, the Royal Rumble means something, right?
It's supposed to be. It used to be.
So, when's the Royal Rumble?
It was February 1st this year.
Yeah, but
Well, probably end of
January, February,
probably.
right? Mid to late January, early February, right? Okay.
Right.
Does Crown Jewel mean anything? Because I couldn't tell you when Crown Jewel is. And, Crown Jewel I thought was a Saudi Arabia thing, but apparently it can also be in Australia when they feel like it. It doesn't mean anything. We don't even know, what month it is in. Because it's not in any month. It's just, it happens sometimes. When, how many of these have they had?
I want to say at least 5, maybe more.
Well, they have happened in November or October. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but they've had a bunch. But they've all been in Saudi Arabia except for this one. So maybe that's why I'm confused. Because they had one in November 2018, October 2019, October 2021, November 2022, November 2023, November 2024, all in Riyadh. This is October 2025 in Perth for some reason.
Well, probably because I think they already did enough events in Saudi Arabia, so.
And now they're giving Saudi Arabia the real events, like the Royal Rumble, which will be in Saudi Arabia next year. And WrestleMania, which will be in Saudi Arabia in 2027.
Well, not only that, I mean, you get the Rumble, you're probably going to get a SmackDown, you're probably going to get a Raw as well. They're getting a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. Good for them. So that is WWE's Crown Jewel, the first one outside of Saudi Arabia. Now Australia gets these crappy shows. Great. Good for them. Good for them. There's talk that Gunther is going to be John Cena's final opponent. I'm good with it. Gunther beats Cena on his way out.
I like the idea. I forget where I heard it, but someone said that they had the idea that they'd have a match to determine who would be the final opponent, and Gunther would win that match. I think that's a good idea. Guys fight to see who would face Cena last.
Yeah, I heard there was a tournament maybe they were thinking of.
I would just do a 4-way kind of thing, but whatever. I mean, however they decide to do it, I think it's a neat idea because there is a bit of an honor to that, prestige to it, to face Cena in his last match, because that's kind of the big last match of the year if you think about it, right? So they should make something out of that. I like the idea, and I think it'd be great for Gunther, who's kind of gone right now, lost the championship, needs something to kind of give him a bit of a restart. I think that's a perfect way to do it.
Yeah. I think, you do a kind of a rebuild of Gunther. You have him beat Cena. You have him go on, beat Brock, maybe at Mania. I think you do big things with Gunther.
We'll see what they do with Brock, though. I mean, I feel it doesn't make sense right now. Brock's pretty much heel, right? I guess he's aligned with Heyman, kind of somewhat, I guess, with the Vision in a sense. So I feel him against Gunther doesn't really fit right now. Maybe later it could, but not now.
I don't know. I don't think Brock is necessarily aligned with anything. I think he's just a guy that shows up once in a while and serves whatever purpose they have for him at any given time in any given story. They just kind of drop him in as, here's Brock Lesnar, and this is what he is now. You know? I don't think he comes back anytime this year. I think we've seen the end of Brock for 2025. Maybe, we'll see him in 2026. Rumble time, Mania time, but it's not like a regular character who, his stories don't have to make sense.
If that's the case, it's very odd that he just came back to beat Cena. But I guess they felt they had to do that.
Maybe Cena wanted one last match with Brock. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, we really didn't need it, but I guess he needed that, so good for him.
Well, where's AJ Lee? A lot of people show up one time, you think maybe they'll be here a little bit more, and then you don't see him again.
Well, I think with AJ Lee, it's more they're just limiting what she does. Like, she's going to be apparently in the War Games match for the women, so she's already got a spot coming up.
Okay.
So, good for her. I don't believe Nikki Bella is going to be in War Games, so what are they still going to use her going forward? Like, what's the plans with her?
What's this War Games match? I mean, isn't that kind of jumping ahead?
Yeah, but you can kind of see it shaping up the War Games, like how it's going. Like, you can kind of feel that, like, who would be in that match for the women. It's kind of feels like you have the top ones right there. Rhea Ripley, clearly. Io's going to be in there. You throw in AJ as well, right? And probably maybe Tiffany and Stephanie, and boom. That's already on the women's side right there. And against all the top heels, right? Becky, Nia, the Kabuki Warriors, and someone else. Like, maybe one or maybe both, who knows, for the Judgment Day. So it's not hard to make War Games, I think, for the women.
You're possibly right. So Cena, final opponent, possibly Gunther. I'd like to see Gunther win, though, right? On the way out, I think you lose.
I agree, but I feel like it's kind of changed over the last couple of retirements, right? Like, Taker won his last match.
Yeah.
Sting won his last match.
Yeah.
So it can happen. Steve Austin won his last match.
And it's going to be in Washington, D.C., and John Cena, American hero, facing evil heel foreigner in Gunther. There's talk that the president and a bunch of people might be at this John Cena final match, so you might want to have America win.
Yeah. Especially, if Trump's there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting, It'll be interesting. Who'd you like to see? Like, AJ Styles says his last year is next year. Who'd you like to see as AJ's last match in WWE?
That's intriguing. Like, who could he possibly face that he hasn't faced? Like, maybe not his last match, but I'd really like to see him against Malachi Black. I don't think we've ever seen that match before, so I'd really like to see what that would be like, actually. But for his last match, I mean, that's tough. Like, I'm trying to think, what was a great rival or something that would be a fitting end for him? There's really nothing. Maybe Roman Reigns, to be honest, because that was the match that, to me, that made him in WWE, was that match. Because once he had that great match with Roman, that kind of propelled him to the WWE Championship, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I'd like to see if WWE does re-sign Chris Jericho. I'd like to see Jericho. He was AJ's first kind of big feud in WWE. I feel like he put AJ on the map in WWE, wrestled him in his first Mania in WWE. I feel like Jericho and AJ, just as the last one, would be a nice moment. Bring it all around.
It was that one Mania where people were like, "Oh, AJ lost. That's surprising."
Yeah. I think that'd be cool. If WWE does get Jericho back, where there were rumors, right, that Jericho would come back.
Wait and see. I mean, 2026, it could happen, right?
Yeah. All right. And Tigers and Mariners still tied in the 8th, 2-2. Game 5 of the ALDS. Winner moves on to face the Jays. Yankees lost to the Blue Jays in their ALDS series in 4 games. So the Yankees are done, eliminated. Which sucks for me. I like to watch the Yankees every day. And during the baseball season from late March to mid-October, I can usually watch the Yankees pretty much every day. The odd day off here or there. But, I've got the Yankees with me for many, many months. And now they're gone, and it is sad. I guess I have to watch more wrestling and MMA. I don't know. But I miss the Yankees already. I miss Yankees baseball. Feels like baseball's still going on, but, I'm thinking about the offseason. I'm thinking about acquisitions. I'm thinking about how we need a new shortstop and a new catcher and a new center fielder, I think. Probably. So, Yankees are going to need some pieces and some better bullpen. There's a lot. There's a lot that the Yankees need that is obvious. I don't know how they're going to address those needs in the offseason. I think anybody thinking, they're going to fire the manager is just doesn't understand how the Yankees organization works. Brian Cashman is the general manager, and he is not going to fire Aaron Boone because Boone is his guy. I saw something that said no Yankees manager has ever gone more than 5 years as manager without winning the World Series. Since 1903. Aaron Boone has been there for 9 seasons now. Has not won a World Series. Longest run of anybody running the Yankees without a World Series. And I think that's very telling of how the organization runs now. And without firing Brian Cashman, you're not going to fire Aaron Boone. So if they are getting rid of Boone, it's going to be a total clean house where Cashman is gone. And Cashman has been the GM since the late 90s. So I don't know. I don't think the Yankees, I don't think Hal Steinbrenner really has the balls to get rid of Cashman. And I'm not even sure that getting rid of Cashman is necessary. But the Yankees organization has to take a good look at themselves and realize that there are things that they need to be doing that they're not doing. I read a very good book called The Yankee Way about the construction of the New York Yankees and how their success is built. And it was built on strength up the middle, which is having a very good catcher, a very good shortstop, and a very good center fielder. And if you look at the Yankees teams in the 90s that were, that was a dynasty, you had Jorge Posada behind the plate, Derek Jeter at shortstop, and Bernie Williams in center field. That was a recipe for success. Strength up the middle. And if you look at all the great Yankees teams throughout history, they had strength up the middle. Catcher, shortstop, center fielder. This year we had Austin Wells, Anthony Volpe, and Trent Grisham sometimes. Sometimes Bellinger and, Dominguez in left. Like, they did a whole mishmash of things. So we had a guy in Trent Grisham that you didn't really believe in as your everyday center fielder. Yet he was playing center field, and he just wasn't. I mean, he had a great year, but defensively, he's not particularly strong. He had a much better offensive production year than you expect from him, and I wouldn't expect it to continue next year, which is something the Yankees really need to think about when negotiating with him, or not negotiating with him, thinking about him as a free agent, because Grisham is a free agent. So I think Kyle Tucker is the guy that the Yankees need to go after. That's strength up the middle. That's strength in center field. That's the type of player that the Yankees need to change the organization and change the team. There are guys out there. But I'm not happy starting the season next year with accepting Austin Wells and Anthony Volpe as our catcher and shortstop. If we field a lineup with Wells and Volpe in it as starters, as the thought of these are our everyday guys, we're not going to win. We're just not. Like, it's in the book. The Yankee way. It's called the Yankee way. It's the way the Yankees win. It's laid out through generations of Yankees management. Honed, perfected, crafted. Yet they give us Austin Wells, who's not nearly good enough defensively to make up for his poor offense, and Anthony Volpe, who's not nearly good enough to play Major League Baseball. That's not how you win championships. So, as long as we're doing that, we're not going to win shit. They need to take a good look at themselves. They need to look at themselves in the offseason and realize, hey, we have gone away from what works. Let's go back to what works. Let's get a shortstop. Let's get a legitimate shortstop. Let's get a legitimate catcher. I heard JT Realmuto is a free agent this year. Let's get him. And maybe we get Alex Bregman to play shortstop. Got to get some shit together. Got to spend some money. Got to commit. Not this half-ass, like, well, we'll get this guy, and then we'll hope that this guy has a good season, and watch, it'll turn around. None of that shit. Prove it. Give me proven commodities. We can develop pitching. We almost have too much starting pitching. We can't develop infielders, hitters. So maybe we deal some of that starting pitching for some hitters. Or some bullpen. Because we need some of that too. Somehow we can develop starters, but our bullpen just doesn't work. A lot of problems with the Yankees. A lot of obvious problems that I saw all year that I hoped would kind of mask themselves in the playoffs, but in the playoffs is where you get exposed for who you are. The Blue Jays exposed the Yankees for what they are. I wasn't surprised by what happened. I wasn't surprised at all because I've seen those games go down for the Yankees all season. I was disappointed because I know that the Yankees are capable of playing better. But they didn't play better. They played their base level of baseball. And when you play your base level of baseball, you're going to lose. If you play above yourself, good things might happen. But the lineup construction, who we put out there, the fact that Volpe was still playing in Game 4 as a starter after striking out 14 times in that series. The Yankees were winning down the stretch in September, and they looked really nice when Jose Caballero was playing shortstop. Yet in the playoffs, you went back to Volpe out of nervousness or fear or whatever analytics, and you kept Caballero on the bench. And you lost. And you want to blame Boone because he's the manager, and you go, well, it's his decision. It isn't, it isn't. Like, he agrees with the people. From what I understand, it's not like he's arguing with them. I think they all, they picked Boone because he thinks like them, and this is the thought process, and they're all in the same thinking. So maybe the thinking has to change altogether, all over the place. Can't just wait for the home run. Can't just wait around for the home run either. That's a problem. You saw how that backfired. When Giancarlo Stanton is on, he's on. When he's not on, he hits into double plays, and he strikes out. Stanton, last year in the playoffs, was unbelievable and helped propel them to the World Series. Stanton this year in the playoffs was an out. Wouldn't it be great to get last year's Stanton with this year's Judge? If Judge performed in the playoffs last year like he did this year, the Yankees might have won the World Series. That didn't happen. Judge had a good run this playoffs, though. Really good. Really good. However, not many other guys did offensively. Especially in that Toronto series. Not good. Not good. Congratulations to the Blue Jays. I hope you never win another game in the history of your franchise. Congrats on beating the Yankees. I hope you lose forever. I don't care who wins, the Tigers or the Mariners. I hope they beat the Jays. And I hope they sweep them. And that's that. No more Blue Jays. I don't like the Blue Jays. I don't like them. There's something about them. I don't like that they play on a carpet. That bothers me. Get some grass. Get some grass. If they can grow grass in Boston and New York, you can grow grass in Toronto. What are they doing? Nerds. Get some grass.
You make it seem like it was a bad season. Like, you really one win away, and that series might have gone completely different if you just had one more win.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you have home field advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That changes the series dramatically, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So one win.
That's the story of their series. That's the story of their season, They can come back just enough to make you think they're going to do it, and then they don't. No heart, no grit. They had a good season, John. They finished with the best record in the American League, tied with the Blue Jays for the best record in the whole American League. They went to the American League Division Series. They won a playoff series against the Red Sox. It was very close, very tough. They won. But, as you know, it's World Series or bust for the Yankees. And they didn't win the World Series. And they're not playing right now. They should be playing Game 5 right now. They're not. The Blue Jays had a bullpen game that most of their fan base thought they were going to lose, and the Yankees couldn't hit for shit. So, I'm not. I don't watch the New York Yankees to see them make the playoffs and win a series. I watch the Yankees to win the World Series and to be a dynasty, because that's what they're supposed to be. That's what Yankees fans expect. Maybe our expectations are too high. Too bad. We want to win. It matters to us. We're elated when they win. We're devastated when they lose. We care. We want to win. Yankees fans are passionate. Yankees fans don't care about any other team but the Yankees. We don't care about the other teams. We don't care if they're good. We don't care if they're bad. I never give the other team credit for being better. I just say, well, the Yankees are bad and we need to make them better. The Yankees were not a bad team for a baseball team. For the Yankees, they sucked. They didn't live up to Yankee standards, which are very high, as they should be. The Yankee team last year went to the World Series, but they did not win. They were a disappointment. People wanted to fire the manager after that series. He took them to the end, and we were all pissed because we wanted to win. It's not good enough to even make it to the end. You have to win. This is what you don't understand. See, Red Sox fans, John, they don't care about winning the World Series. They just want to beat the Yankees. I think the Blue Jays fans are a little bit like that too. Seeing how the Blue Jays were celebrating, it felt like that. But it feels like, Red Sox fans, they just want to beat the Yankees. If they can do that, whatever. Like if the Red Sox, I think the Red Sox fans right now, had they won that series and then lost to the Blue Jays like the Yankees did, right now wouldn't be like, oh, Red Sox, we need to get better. We need to do this, do that. They would just be like, ha-ha, Yankees, we went further than you. You suck. Like, that's the vibe from Red Sox fans. As long as they beat the Yankees, they don't really care. Yankees are like, we expect to beat the Red Sox. When we don't, it's like embarrassing. Because they're really like so excited, and we're like, oh my God, the Red Sox, really? How do we lose to this franchise? And then like we just want to win. We don't care. Like we beat the Red Sox, because of course we did, and then we just want to move on and beat the other teams. Like we don't care who we beat. Like I don't care who we beat at all. It doesn't matter if we go through the Jays or the Red Sox or the Brewers or anybody. I just want to win it all. This is the mentality of Yankees fans, and it's a big difference between like Yankees fans and Red Sox fans. I'm right too, John. As a Red Sox fan, I think you can admit a little bit that I am right.
I think you can admit, especially I'm sure because you saw it, like I think Big Papi and Vlad Jr. have a huge hand in all the Yankees hate, because that thing went very popular when they were ripping on the Yankees losing. So they kind of encourage
David Ortiz, Red Sox legend. The Red Sox are eliminated. The Yankees lose, and he's acting like he won something.
Right.
That's typical Red Sox. That's classic Red Sox. He is the typical. That's why he's a Red Sox hero, because he acts like the fans. He's the same. Well, I'm a Red Sox guy. Red Sox guy. Oh, the Red Sox got eliminated. Well, that's fine, because we can still watch the Yankees and talk shit about them. It's like if the Yankees got eliminated, I'm not going to keep watching the Red Sox and be like, oh, you guys suck. When the Yankees get eliminated, baseball is over for the year. Nothing else matters, and I'm waiting for pitchers and catchers to report in February. Like, This is how it operates for us. We think about the Yankees and the Yankees only. When they win, they're the greatest. When they lose, they suck. Even if they lose in Game 7 of the World Series in a 1-0 ball game, they suck. You know?
That's it. I mean, find out what happens next year. It feels like there's going to be a lot of new players next year, so we got a lot of new life next year, I think.
Yeah. I think we'll need some new players. I'm looking forward to the New York Yankees of 2026. We'll have Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon, Cam Slittler, and probably Luis Hill as our 5-man rotation, which is probably going to be the best 5-man rotation in baseball, I would imagine. It's pretty damn good. Think about those 3 starters in the playoffs on their game. Garrett Cole, Max Fried, Carlos Rodon. You get Schlittler in there too. If Garrett Cole didn't get hurt this year, might have been a little different. So that'll help. That'll help. Won't be enough. Won't be enough. I really wonder how the organization is going to treat Anthony Volpe. Like, does he have is he the starting shortstop next year? Or do we say, okay, enough is enough. This experiment has not worked. It's a bust. We got to think about other options. Because if they go with Volpe as a shortstop and even Wells as our catcher, I got to question the direction and whether they really want to win. Or do they want to just sell Volpe jerseys because he's from the New York area and a lot of little kids look up to him because he looks like one of them? Volpe looks like a kid. He probably stayed in AAA for a couple more years, grown up a bit. Like, you can't keep running the same thing and hope it works. It's 3 years now. It's not working. He is who he is. And it's getting worse. I'm really not happy with running Volpe in the playoffs. Like, he was so bad. He was not hitting. Why? Get him out of there. But the organization believes in him. Cashman believes in him. It's fucking irritating. All right, John, are we done? What else? You want to talk about a movie? You had a movie thing?
Yeah, I have a little bit of a review.
Oh, you want me to do the thing?
Oh, if you want to do the thing thing's great. So this is unlike traditional kind of movie reviews. This is actually more of a wrestling review. And it's not a movie that's so much in theaters like worldwide. This is just going to be in Montreal, actually. And it'll be in Montreal, if not mistaken, tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. at the Cineplex Corte Latin, I believe. Yeah, 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. And it's going to play also Sunday. I want to say 4:30 p.m. as well at the same place. And this is about Luna Vachon. It's titled Lunatic Luna Vachon, Luna Vachon story. And if you remember, they did a Dark Side of the Ring episode on Luna Vachon, and a lot of people felt it was kind of too short, 40 minutes. I mean, it was a good kind of recap, a little short thing of what Luna's career was in wrestling and a lot of the unfortunate moments that happened in WWE. This one is close to 2 hours and gives like a more expansive rendition of like what her career was like. And you get a lot more details. There's a lot more interviews. Like her father, who recently passed away, Like, I think it's his last interview that he ever does. And potentially it might be the last interview with Kevin Sullivan, who also passed away. Then there was just more in terms of what Dark Side of the Ring gave. Like, Jacqueline Moore also does an interview. The Sable Luna feud, I felt it was way too short in Dark Side. This one, it really showed more of just like, it's not just how Sable had to look good, it's how much Luna tried her best to make Sable look good throughout the matches, and it showed like examples of that in the matches. I think that was a huge thing too for this one. Like, Dark Side, I think they were limited in terms of what clips they could show. With this one, I guess because it's more like an independent film, it feels like they almost have carte blanche to show whatever they want. So I felt like there was just so many clips, a lot of like home footage clips as well of Luna, which really added to it. And if you remember the unfortunate separation from Gangrel, just far more detail with that. Highly emotional with that. And for me personally, because I know Gangrel, but him just going into the detail of like how they had to break up because he almost had to kill himself. Like, it's really.
What is this movie called, John?
It's called Lunatic, the Luna Vachon story.
Okay.
I mean, you know about Luna, how Luna was not 100% in the right frame of mind at times. You know that story, right? Like how she was very depressed at some points, and some moments it felt like she was her own worst enemy, and how that's pretty much how she got released from WWE, because she just kept causing fights with pretty much just everyone, not just Sable, but just anyone who was around her. She'd cause fights, and that pretty much trickled down to pretty much all her loved ones eventually. And that's how, unfortunately, that ended up with her and Gangrel, why they separated. And there's a lot more detail again, besides what Darkseid told. I told you this off air about how there's a lot more allegations in this. What happened to Luna?
Yeah, I don't want to repeat those allegations, John. Let's keep it. Watch the movie.
Yeah,
save some stuff for the movie. But there's some shocking allegations made by Luna herself in the movie, right?
Well, that Luna told her son, and her son reveals these allegations in the film. But yeah, I suggest people to check that out Saturday at the Cineplex Corte Latin, 1:30 p.m. And I believe after the screening, they're going to have like an interview with the director as well.
Cool. Very cool. Angelo wants to know what happened in AEW this week. They had their Title
Tuesday.
Title Tuesday.
It was a really good brawl.
Bunch of matches. You know, typical AEW stuff. Nothing major.
I thought the Hurt Syndicate street fight match that they had against Ricochet and the Gates of Agony, or the GOA, I think they're called now, that was highly entertaining. If you saw Dynamite this week or looking to watch Dynamite, that's the highlight, I think, of the week for Dynamite.
I have a hard time caring about the GOAs.
I can understand that, but I enjoy watching the Hurt Syndicate. I think they're still one of the best acts in all of AEW, easily.
I also have a hard time caring about those guys.
I just want to see them. They need to move on now. Okay, they've done this. Now they need to go on and try to win the Trios Championships, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. Moxley beat Ishii. I feel like I've seen this match a million times.
We have. In AEW.
You know, they're just kind of doing the same thing over and over again. Dynamite is just kind of... It feels like it's on repeat.
I am looking forward to, like, they're building up Hangman against Samoa Joe. That's for the next pay-per-view. I think on the 18th, Wrestle Dream.
Yeah.
That should be a good match.
Doesn't seem like it means anything.
I mean, it really is because they don't have anybody, I think, at this point. So
Right.
it's going to be Joe.
Kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, Joe's not a bad opponent. He's still that's still a good match.
You don't believe he'll win?
Oh hell no, of course not.
I don't love that for the world champion. And that's basically what's going on in AEW this week. Not a whole lot. John, you won a ladder match last week.
I did, and my first ever ladder match. It was an amazing experience, and it was an 8-man ladder match. So a lot of moving pieces in that match. A lot of carnage, a lot of chaos. There was a bit of blood all around ringside. Not my blood, but someone else's blood. I can't give enough credit to pretty much everyone else involved in the match besides myself, because I won the match, so I didn't have so many moments in that match. It's everyone else who tried to kill themselves. They're the ones that really made that match. Mm-hmm. I was just able to survive that match. I was the last one standing, pretty much.
Well, very cool. I'm glad that you won your first ever ladder match, 8-man ladder match. Sounds like pure chaos. And I'm glad you came out on top. Again, Johnny, when's your next one? When can people see you? Aren't you going to New Brunswick?
In a couple hours from now, yeah. So I won't be watching Crown Jewel at all. I don't know if you're doing a post show or not, but I will not be around. So yeah, I'm going to New Brunswick in a little bit. I'll be wrestling a guy, Jason Boa, and I'm looking forward to that. It should be a hard-hitting match. It's going to go down in New Brunswick in a couple hours from now, yeah.
Where in New Brunswick?
Night. St. John's, New Brunswick.
Wow. Big trip ahead of you, John. That's a big drive.
Well, I went to Sudbury, that was a decent drive. St. John's is another drive.
It's further.
So one weekend, go west, go east, it's one trip after the other. I mean, as a wrestler, that's awesome, actually. I wish I could do that almost every weekend, but you take it when you get them.
That's the life of a pro wrestler. Johnny North, he's my favorite pro wrestler and yours. And thanks to Angelo Contagonis dropping the super chat. He says, good luck in your match tomorrow night in New Brunswick, John. So there's Angelo supporting the Ringside Report Network and wishing you good luck. Join.ringsidereport.net, membership.ringsidereport.net is where you go to support the channel. You can also go to our website, ringsidereport.net. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, leave a comment. Ringsidereport.net is the online home for everything that we do. Go check it out. So much great stuff on our website. And I'll be back Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time with Freddie and AJ for Ringside Report MMA. We'll do all that. We'll preview the UFC going to Vancouver, British Columbia next weekend. So we'll get to that on Thursday, right here on the Ringside Report Network.
Thanks for sticking with us to the end. We would really appreciate it if you could help us spread the word.
You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button. Flip those notification switches.
We are an audience-supported network, so consider becoming a recurring supporter at membership.ringsidereport.net. Check out our website at ringsidereport.net. Hope to see you again next time, and have a good night.